My name is Igor, and I am a fourth-year doctoral student in the counseling psychology program at the University of Kentucky. So the research training that we receive here at the counseling psychology program is actually really well structured out. There's a lot of different labs and teams that you can join depending on the professor and who you're under, and you can even join other people's labs that you are not particularly being advised by. The research training that I've received, I've been in lab for the past 5 years studying psychotherapy outcomes, client feedback, some benchmarking with inpatient samples and things of that nature. I think the faculty really have a strong emphasis on research here, that everybody's publishing, everybody's getting studies out. I myself have a couple publications already. I have numerous poster presentations that I've done at APA and a couple of local conferences. So I think in regards to research, we have a really well-designed program to foster student growth. If there's an area that you really want to explore, that faculty have some idea of what that's like, they will try to cater to you and try to find avenues for you to kind of get that research done. If you struggle with stats, working one-on-one with a professor or advisor is really helpful. They really kind of run you through how to run different models and SPSS and M+, and those type of things. I know personally for me, when I did my research portfolio, I was taking a HLM class at the time, higher level modeling, and I actually ended up using that for my portfolio. And now for my dissertation, I use a different multiple regression model, and so things like that. So I think personally I've grown as time has gone on through the research I've gotten, the research experience I've gotten in the different research labs and things of that nature. So for me personally, career-wise, I want to be a clinician. And in regards to the clinical training that we receive here at the counseling psychology program at the University of Kentucky, I think they once again do a really good job to foster both research and training, because we are a scientist practitioner model. So there's a lot of practicum opportunities that you can partake in throughout the state, throughout the city. Anything from counseling centers to large community mental health centers to local VA, inpatient hospitals, and things of that nature. So there's a lot of breadth of experience within the city and within the state of what you can do, and kind of depending on your career goals, really kind of foster different avenues of clinical work. So you can do assessments, you can do inpatient, outpatient services, you could do individual or group therapy, you can do a combination of all those things. And really the populations, like I said, depending on the centers, you can get a large breadth of experience working with people from diverse settings, from diverse cultural identities, lower SES, veterans, things of that nature. So I think the faculty in the program here do a really good job of including clinical work in almost every single class that you take, whether it's personality testing, cognitive testing, psychopathology, human development. We really kind of talk about how these different frameworks or things that we talk about in class, how it applies to clients within a real world setting. And also I think our practicum supervision classes are really well, where you get to, if you have the chance to record yourself, either video or audio, you get feedback from your peers and your professors about things you're doing well, things you can improve upon, how you are with clients, and things of that nature. So it's really based off a growth model of helping you kind of transition throughout your years into the doc program from year 1 through year 4 or 5. And I think everybody sees a lot of change, a lot of growth throughout those years because of the growth that happens, and because of the support that you get from faculty and your peers. Everybody's real supportive and empathic and understanding of the difficulties of what it means to be a researcher and a clinician. So one of the biggest strengths of the counseling psychology program at the University of Kentucky is the focus on social justice. This focus on social justice is embedded in almost every single part of our program, from the classes we take, to the clinical work, to our practicum sites, to the research that we do. Social justice at the framework of all of that. I think a unique part of just the counseling psychology degree is that we really try to understand where clients, participants, research participants, where they all come from these different cultural identities, and how these identities kind of shape or impact their psychopathology, or where they come from, or how they are currently in life, and those type of things. And I think we really take a really empathic approach to understanding people as a whole, from a holistic framework, from their strengths and attributes to things that they can improve upon, and kind of the whole holistic, their physical health, their mental health, emotional well-being, all those type of things we take into account. Where they come from, their nationality, their race, their ethnicity, their gender, their sexual orientation, all those type of things we really kind of take into account and try to understand people where they really are in regards to development in life. And so I think that's embedded in everything that we do here in the program, from the classes we take to the from the clinical training to the research. It's really that's actually a big thing that drew me to the program, is because of the strong emphasis on social justice, and they made that very clear on the website and kind of at the interviews as well. So that really drew me as well. Another big strength of ours is the people that are here. I mean, from the faculty, who are very supportive and, again, empathic and understanding about where students are in the development of growth and being a future psychologist. The peers that I've had throughout the years, my own cohort, people are very kind, very understanding, very nice. If you're going through a hard time, you can always reach out or text somebody or call, or if you need somebody to watch your dogs or cats. I mean, we foster a very collegiate environment here, where people really care about each other, and that goes a long way when it comes time to really get through years of being in a doc program. So one thing I didn't know about graduate school that I wish I had beforehand. So for me personally, I came here for the master's program for the first 2 years, and then I got accepted into the Ph.D. program. So I've been here for a total of 6. And the biggest regret I have is during my master's years, during those 2 years I was getting my master's, I didn't have any funding, and so I had to take out loans and things like that. And then when I got into the Ph.D. program, I found an assistantship that's been covering me for the 4 years. But that's the biggest thing I would say, is to really try hard, whether you're in a master's or Ph.D. program, to find an assistantship right away to kind of cover that expense and that cost, because loans can be, as we all know, pretty detrimental in debt and things like that. So I think that's the biggest regret I had. Another one is to really understand that getting into a master's or PhD program at the University of Kentucky, especially account psychology, it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of self-discipline. You got to make your own schedules. You got to keep up with your own stuff. There's really not a whole lot of hand-holding. Obviously, people are held to a higher level here when it comes to learning and keeping yourself organized. So that's really important, and really kind of evaluating, making this huge transition in your life and this huge step.